Understanding Norman Vincent Peale's final lessons, which many have neglected, is not merely an exercise in theoretical reflection. It is an invitation to a profound re-engineering of one's own soul, an opportunity to awaken to the reality that has always awaited you. It is recognizing that the key to a life of peace, power, and purpose lies not in external tactics or magic formulas, but in the consistent application of immutable truths that shape your perception and your reality. You are about to discover that your ability to transform the world begins with your ability to transform yourself, to realign your mind with the source of all strength and peace. Despite the clarity and simplicity of Peale's teachings, most people, out of sheer habit or inattention, still find themselves entangled in the chains of negative thinking, fear, and doubt. You may feel trapped in a cycle of self-sabotage, where every attempt to overcome an obstacle seems to be pulled back by an invisible force. This often manifests as a constant internal battle. The voice of insecurity whispering that you are not good enough, that you don't deserve the joy, success, or abundance you so desire. You find yourself seeking validation from external sources, in the approval of others, in recognition that comes from outside, but the satisfaction when it arrives is always ephemeral. The inner emptiness persists, an echo of the voice that questions your worthiness, your ability, and your purpose. This is the silent pain, the psychological conflict that consumes your energy and prevents you from living the full life you were created for. You know there's something more, a greater force within you, but you don't know how to activate it, how to free it from the shackles of disbelief and passivity. This veiled anguish, this feeling that something essential is missing, is the starting point. It is the dark valley where the seed of transformation needs to be planted, because it is precisely at this point of questioning, of searching for something more authentic and lasting, that the real promise is revealed. I am here to guide you on a 10-chapter journey, a journey that will dismantle these limiting beliefs and ignite the light of your true identity. We will awaken the sleeping giant within you, teaching you to see your life, your challenges, and your future through the lens of practical faith and unwavering self-confidence, the perspective of someone who truly understands that they are an extension of divinity, capable of reorganizing their inner world to transform their outer life in ways you can barely imagine today. Embrace this journey, because it is the path to your deepest freedom, to the full manifestation of yourself in God. If these words resonated with you, it's no coincidence. There comes a moment when the mind begins to awaken to truths that have always been there, but only now make sense. This channel exists for that exact point in the journey, when you decide to strengthen your thinking, align your faith, and consciously embrace who you choose to be. If you feel ready to develop a firmer, more confident, and faith-driven mindset, follow the channel. Each piece of content here is an invitation to reorganize your life from the inside out, one step at a time. The greatest of human tragedies lies not in the absence of opportunities, the lack of innate talents, or the relentless adversities of life, but rather in the persistent and often unconscious adherence to a narrative of insignificance. Many of us, instead of accepting our innate greatness, so vividly described by Peale, become addicted to a diminished self-image, perpetuating an internal dialogue that imprisons us in a world of self-imposed limitations. We go through life carrying the weight of an identity that is not our own, shaped by the opinions of others, by past failures, and by unfounded fears. You feel as if you are always on the edge of a precipice, afraid to take the next step, with the feeling that no matter how hard you try, there is an invisible barrier preventing you from reaching your true potential. This is the pain of those who have forgotten their own divine essence, who have become accustomed to living under a low, hunched roof, even if the infinite sky is right above. Society, in its constant demand for conformity and its often cruel superficiality, reinforces the idea that we are defined by our labels, our possessions, our failures, and insidiously, we absorb these messages, allowing them to become the basis of our identity. Instead of connecting with the inexhaustible source of power and wisdom that resides within us, we desperately seek external validation, a stamp of approval that, when achieved, proves ephemeral and incomplete. This incessant and vain search for recognition outside oneself is one of the greatest symptoms of addiction to smallness, a disguised escape from confronting one's true and magnificent nature. It's a cycle of disillusionment. You search outside, find momentary relief, but the inner emptiness soon reappears deeper than before. But here lies the truth that Peale so emphasized, and that many still haven't taken seriously. In your purest essence, you are intrinsically good, strong, and capable. You are a manifestation of supreme intelligence, a being endowed with unlimited potential. This is your reality, and any belief to the contrary is an illusion, a distortion created by an untrained mind. What you need is to detoxify yourself from this addiction to smallness, to desacralize the idea that you are powerless and fragile. Your dissatisfaction, your emotional exhaustion, your feeling of not belonging are not signs of weakness but cries from your soul, urgent calls for you to remember who you truly are. The crucial reframing is this: the pain of feeling small, inadequate, or without purpose is not a condemnation, but an invitation to liberation. It is your divine essence trying to break the chains of illusion, demanding that you assume your rightful place as a being of vast capabilities. This inner restlessness is your guide, your signal that you are ready to transcend self-imposed limitations. Vincent Peale taught us that change begins with accepting this fundamental truth. You were born for greatness. When you begin to contemplate the idea that you are in fact a divine spark, a being endowed with unlimited capabilities, the world begins to reorganize itself around you. Problems that once seemed insurmountable begin to become relative. Doors that seemed closed reveal slivers of light. Doubt recedes and hope arises. This is the first and most important step, to deeply and honestly question the story you have been telling yourself about who you are, and to begin rewriting it with the ink of your true identity in God. Each of us inhabits an invisible palace, built brick by brick from the deepest convictions we hold about ourselves. Self-image is not a mere fantasy, but the fundamental architecture of our reality. If this self-image is fragile, built on the shifting sands of doubt and insecurity, your entire inner world will be subject to collapse with every wind of adversity. Many of us live under the low ceiling of an impoverished self-image, walls that confine us and windows that show us a distorted view of our own potential. You may feel that you are always falling short, that you don't deserve the good things in life, that every success is a matter of chance, and every failure is irrefutable proof of your inadequacy. This is the pain of those who allow their self-image to be defined by the scars of the past, by the criticism of others, and by unmet expectations. Vincent Peale, in his persistently ignored final lessons, revealed that the key to a life of power and joy lies in the conscious reconstruction of this invisible architecture. For Peale, faith is not merely a consolation, but the most powerful cement with which we can build an unshakable self-image. Understanding who you truly are in God means recognizing that you were created in the image and likeness of the divine, endowed with attributes of strength, wisdom, and love. Doubting yourself is, in essence, doubting the intelligence and capacity of the Creator. It is denying your divine heritage and perpetuating an illusion of powerlessness. You have the innate right to see yourself as a being of value, capable of manifesting good in your life. Limiting beliefs are not a flaw of yours, but a negative thought, a distortion of the truth, which you have the power to challenge and replace. We think of ourselves as mere reflections of what others see, or as products of our past experiences. This mental passivity is dangerous. How many opportunities have been lost because the inner voice of "I am not capable" has overridden the voice of your faith? How many dreams have been shelved because the mental image of you failing was more vivid than that of you triumphing? The feeling of paralysis, the incessant procrastination, the impossibility of taking the next step, all these are symptoms of a self-image that needs to be demolished and rebuilt in a new light. The vital reframing here is understanding that your struggle is not against circumstances but against your internalized self-image. Your feeling of fragility is not a character flaw, but the consequence of an inner palace built with bricks of doubt. The good news is that you are the sole architect, and you hold the power to demolish what no longer serves you and rebuild with new materials. Your emotional pain, the feeling of not being good enough, is your spirit pleading for a new foundation. It is a call to action for you to consciously begin choosing the bricks that compose your inner reality. Every positive thought, every affirmation of faith in your true identity, every mental image of success and well-being that you nurture is a brick of confidence. Visualize yourself as a builder, erecting an unshakable castle with the patience of a craftsman and the conviction of a visionary. Start with the foundation. Affirm to yourself that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you were created for success. Repeat these truths until they become an integral part of your being. When you understand that your self-image is the master key to your success or failure, the feeling of victimization dissipates. You are no longer a hostage to chance or circumstances. You are the master of your own perception, the sculptor of your own reality. This understanding frees you to take the reins of your mind and direct it towards building a future that reflects your true divine nature. It is a silent empowerment, but with resounding consequences. Start today by questioning your old self-image and replacing it with one that is aligned with your divine capacity. Within the vast territory of the human mind, two voices vie for your attention and direct the course of your life: the toxic whisper of fear and the firm voice of conviction. Fear, often disguised as prudence or realism, is a tyrannical master that keeps us trapped in painful comfort zones, preventing us from taking risks, growing, and experiencing the fullness of life. It manifests as anxiety, indecision, paralysis, and the constant anticipation of the worst-case scenario. For many, this voice of fear has become so familiar that it is almost indistinguishable from their own identity. You may feel that you are always taking steps that are too small, or never acting due to an irrational fear of failing, of being judged, of not being enough. This is the pain of living under the yoke of an inner tyrant, an invisible shackle that binds your potential and prevents you from expressing your true greatness. Vincent Peale, in his most profound lessons on the power of positive thinking, taught that fear is not an insurmountable force but a mental habit that can be unlearned and replaced. The voice of conviction, on the other hand, is the manifestation of your active faith, the unwavering certainty that you are supported, guided, and capable. Understanding who you truly are in God means recognizing that fear is an illusion, a denial of your divine heritage. You are a being endowed with intrinsic courage, wisdom, and infinite resources to overcome any challenge. Your true nature is one of faith, not fear. Many people allow fear to decide for them, succumbing to its illusory power. They justify their inaction with realism, when in reality they are only giving in to pessimism. Have you ever found yourself saying, "What if it goes wrong?" more often than, "What if it goes right?" This is proof that the voice of fear is in control. Fear convinces you that you need to wait for the perfect moment, to have all the guarantees before acting. But life, for Peale, is made of action inspired by faith, not by absolute certainty. The feeling of paralysis you experience, the inability to take the first step towards your dreams, is not a weakness of character, but an indication that your belief system needs to be realigned. The fundamental reframing here is that fear is not your enemy, but a sign. It's a sign that you are at a point of transition, on the verge of new growth, and your soul yearns for courage. The pain of indecision, of persistent anxiety, is your spirit imploring you to consciously choose the voice of conviction. Active faith means acting despite fear, taking a step with the certainty that divine strength will sustain you. It's not the absence of fear, but action in its presence. By doing this, you don't deny fear, but transform it into a springboard. To silence the toxic whisper of fear and amplify the voice of conviction, begin by acknowledging fear when it arises. Don't deny it, but don't feed it either. Breathe deeply and affirm to yourself, "I am greater than this fear. I have the strength and divine wisdom to overcome any challenge." Visualize yourself acting with courage, achieving your goals. Surround yourself with positive and inspiring thoughts that reinforce your faith. Act, even if it's with a small step. Every act of faith, however small, weakens fear and strengthens conviction. You will discover that understanding who you truly are in God means understanding that courage is your inheritance, and that fear is merely a visitor you have the power to dismiss. Don't let fear steal your dreams. Choose to listen to the firm voice of your conviction, and watch as doors that seemed closed begin to open, revealing a path of limitless possibilities. Reconstructing your self-image, reprogramming your internal dialogue, and silencing your fear are crucial steps, but insufficient if they are not translated into action. Many admire Peale's idea of practical faith, but few take it seriously enough to transform their beliefs into concrete, deliberate, and conscious actions. Most people live in a state of perpetual intention, dreaming, planning, visualizing, but rarely taking the decisive step out of their comfort zone. You may find yourself trapped in a cycle of over-planning, paralyzing analysis, or waiting for a perfect moment that never arrives. This is the pain of inaction, the agony of seeing your dreams and potential stagnate for lack of a decisive impulse. You know what needs to be done, but an invisible force prevents you from starting, from committing, from truly embarking on the journey. This gap between intention and manifestation is the main saboteur of your transformation process. Vincent Peale, with unmistakable clarity, taught us that faith without works is dead. Faith is not a passive feeling, but a dynamic force that manifests itself through conscious action. It is proof that you truly believe what you say, the bridge between your inner world of beliefs and the outer world of results. Understanding who you truly are in God means recognizing that you are a co-creator of your reality, and that this co-creation requires your active participation. You are not a passive observer of your own life. You are the main agent, and your faith becomes potent when activated by action. Many people confuse faith with patiently waiting for things to simply happen. They pray for miracles, but don't lift a finger to create the conditions for those miracles to manifest. The crucial reframing here is that your inaction is not a sign of patience, but of stagnation. Your hesitation is the last barrier that needs to be overcome, the last vestige of the mindset that imprisoned you. The pain of stagnation, of repeating the same problems, and the frustration of unfulfilled dreams is your spirit imploring you to transform your beliefs into concrete actions. Conscious action is the catalyst that transforms potential into reality. The unwavering power of conscious action means trusting that, by taking a step in the right direction, the universe will conspire in your favor. It means understanding that the action doesn't need to be perfect or grandiose. It only needs to be a step, a movement, a decision aligned with your faith. If you have faith in your ability to prosper, start acting like someone who prospers. Invest in yourself, seek knowledge, take initiative at work. If you have faith in your health, start taking care of your body with discipline and love. Each small action, each conscious decision to move forward despite fear, amplifies your faith and strengthens your spirit. It's like building a bridge over a river. Each beam placed, each plank fixed brings you closer to the other bank. The journey is made step by step, and conscious action is the engine that drives each of those steps. When you begin to translate your thoughts and prayers into concrete actions, you activate an unstoppable flow of energy. The universe responds to your initiative, opening doors, bringing people and opportunities that previously seemed unattainable. You discover a dormant inner strength, a capacity for achievement that surpasses all expectations. Understanding who you truly are in God means recognizing that you are an agent of transformation, and that your faith, when activated by conscious action, becomes an irresistible force capable of moving mountains. Don't wait any longer for the perfect moment. It is created by your decision to act. Start today with what you have, where you are. Take the first step with conviction and watch as your reality begins to mold itself to your deepest desires, revealing your true greatness. We live in a world that incessantly convinces us that our happiness and success are the result of external factors: the economy, politics, the actions of others, luck. This mentality, deeply ingrained in the lives of many, is one of the greatest sources of pain and frustration. It condemns us to a condition of being hostages to circumstances, passive victims of a capricious destiny. You may feel that you are constantly at the mercy of forces beyond your control, that your efforts are in vain because the world simply doesn't cooperate. The pain here is not only that of adverse circumstances, but also that of powerlessness, the overwhelming feeling that no matter how hard you try, real control is always out there, beyond your reach. This is the experience of a soul that would divest itself of its divinity in order to heal itself. Vincent Peale, in his most overlooked lessons on true power, invited us to a radical reframing. True freedom and real power do not reside in controlling the external world, an illusion that only leads to exhaustion and disillusionment, but in taking full responsibility for our inner world. Supreme control resides within us, over our thoughts, our reactions, our attitudes, and consequently, the energy we emit and attract into our lives. Understanding who you truly are in God means recognizing that you have the innate capacity to choose your response to any situation, to organize your inner world to transform your outer life. Personal responsibility is not a burden, but the greatest gift you can give yourself, for it liberates you from the condition of victim and elevates you to the position of conscious creator. Many people cling to the illusion of external control because it offers a convenient excuse for inaction, for non-change, and for self-pity. I can't be happy because my relationship is difficult. I can't prosper because the market is in crisis. My plans failed because of others. These phrases, repeated over and over, build a cell in which you imprison yourself, denying your own power. You hand over the reins of your life to something beyond yourself, instead of taking your place as the sole master of your destiny. The pain of guilt, frustration, resentment, and powerlessness is your spirit, signaling that you have relinquished control that is intrinsically yours. The crucial reframing is that your difficulty in dealing with external circumstances is not a testament to incapacity, but an invitation to mastery. Every external problem that arises is an opportunity for you to exercise your inner responsibility, to consciously choose how you will react, how you will think, how you will maintain your unwavering faith, regardless of the scenario. Taking personal responsibility means stopping blaming, stopping complaining, and starting to ask, what can I do internally to change this? How can I change my mind, my attitude, my frequency to attract a different reality? It's not about denying the existence of external challenges, but about changing your point of power. Instead of feeling like a leaf in the wind, you become the tree that bends but doesn't break, because its roots are deep in the consciousness of your divinity. When you understand the truth that your happiness, your peace, and your success depend exclusively on the organization of your inner world, your thoughts, your beliefs, and your faith, you become free. You become indestructible because you realize that true strength lies within you, a strength that no external circumstance can shake. Start today to reclaim your power. Stop transferring responsibilities and begin to be the conscious architect of your own life. Every choice, every thought, every response is an opportunity to assert your mastery. It is not an easy path, but it is the only path to absolute freedom, to the full manifestation of who you truly are in God. In a world that incessantly pushes us to seek more, to focus on what we lack and what we haven't yet achieved, Vincent Peale's lesson on gratitude as the foundation of abundance is often forgotten. Many are trapped in the scarcity trap, stuck in a mindset that prevents them from recognizing the countless blessings that already surround them. You may feel like you live in constant lack, always chasing a horizon that is always one step ahead, and in the process devaluing everything you already possess. The pain here is not necessarily material deprivation, but blindness to the spiritual, emotional, and even material richness that already inhabits your life. This inability to perceive the abundance already present, to connect with the inexhaustible source of provision, drains your energy, steals your joy, and keeps you in a state of continuous need. Vincent Peale taught us that gratitude is much more than a feeling of appreciation. It is a magnetic force, a universal principle. It is the fertile ground where abundance naturally flourishes. Understanding who you truly are in God means recognizing that you are intrinsically worthy of all that is good, and that the most direct way to manifest this goodness is through a grateful heart. Gratitude is the recognition of divine goodness already at work in your life, a testament to faith in the Creator's constant provision. It is the language of the Spirit that speaks directly to the source of all abundance in the universe. Where have you focused your attention? On your needs and complaints, or on your blessings and joys? Your answer to this question is the starting point for transformation and for sowing the seeds of a new future. Many people wait for things to improve drastically before being grateful, reversing the natural order of the universe. They think, I will be grateful when I have more money, when I find love, when I achieve success. But Peale taught us that gratitude is not a consequence of abundance, but its cause. Don't wait to have more to give thanks. Be grateful for what you have, and the more will come naturally. The crucial reframing is that your current pain, the feeling of not having enough, is not a sign that you are helpless, but an invitation to change your focus, to realign your perception with a state of mind that attracts abundance. The mind is like a garden. What you plant, it cultivates. If you plant seeds of complaint and dissatisfaction, you will harvest a garden of scarcity. But if you plant seeds of gratitude and appreciation, you will harvest an orchard of fullness and prosperity. Start actively cultivating your garden of gratitude today. Every morning, before even getting out of bed, mentally list or write down 5 things you are deeply grateful for. It could be the comfort of your home, your physical health, the presence of loved ones, the opportunity to wake up to another day, or even the meal you will have. At night, before going to sleep, do the same exercise, reviewing the day and finding new reasons to be grateful. Make gratitude a constant habit, a daily discipline. You will notice that by doing this, your state of mind will elevate. Your perspective on life will change dramatically and, almost magically, more things to be grateful for will begin to appear in your life. Gratitude is the gateway to manifestation. It reconnects you with your true nature, with the inexhaustible source of all good things. By being grateful, you affirm your faith in divine provision and open the floodgates to a constant flow of abundance in all areas of your existence. This garden of gratitude is the key to sowing the seeds of a life of fulfillment and peace. Life, by its very nature, is a vibrant fabric, interwoven with threads of radiant joy and shadows of inevitable challenges. No one is immune to storms. Losses, failures, disappointments, and setbacks are constant companions on the human journey, and many perceive them as punishments, signs of incompetence, or insurmountable barriers that prevent the achievement of their dreams. There is a deep pain in this. The feeling of being crushed by circumstances, of not having the strength to get up after a hard fall, of seeing hope dissipate before an obstacle that seems persistent and immovable. You may feel that the world is conspiring against you, that doors are closing in your path, and that with each attempt at progress, a new challenge pulls you back, eroding your self-confidence and undermining your will. This is the experience of fragility, of powerlessness, of the soul that bends under the weight of trials, forgetting its innate capacity for resilience. However, Vincent Peale, in his most potent and surprisingly overlooked lessons, offers us a radically different perspective. Adversity is not a final roadblock, but a powerful catalyst for growth. It is not a sign that you are on the wrong path, but an opportunity for you to exercise and strengthen your spiritual resilience. Understanding who you truly are in God means recognizing that, even in the greatest falls and the darkest valleys, there is an intrinsic wisdom, a greater purpose working for your highest good. Your inner divinity does not abandon you in the storm. It invites you to discover a strength, a tenacity, and a wisdom you didn't even know you possessed. True resilience is not just the ability to recover from a blow, but to become stronger, wiser, more compassionate, and more deeply connected to your spiritual essence after each challenge faced. The crucial reframing here is that your challenges are not divine punishments or proofs of your inferiority, but stepping stones to your ascension. Every failure, every loss, every moment of despair is, in fact, an opportunity to strengthen your character, deepen your faith, and reveal a dimension of yourself that can only be discovered under the pressure of adversity. Think of the trees that grow on rocky slopes, exposed to the strongest winds. Their roots deepen voraciously, their fibers become denser, their structure turns towards the light with a tenacity that trees in fertile soil rarely possess. Similarly, your soul finds its true strength in life's trials. The pain of failure, the feeling of helplessness, is not your enemy, but a rigorous teacher, pushing you towards mastery. Spiritual resilience requires unwavering faith, not in the absence of problems, but in your innate ability to overcome them with divine help. It means that even when the outside world seems to crumble around you, you maintain the unwavering clarity that your inner world, your mind, your faith, and your spirit is indestructible. It's the conviction that you have infinite resources to face anything life throws your way. Instead of lamenting the doors that close before you, start looking for the windows that open, or building a new door with the strength and wisdom you discovered in adversity itself. Practice accepting the circumstances you cannot change, and focus your energy on those you can influence. Beginning with your attitude and your faith, when you understand that every obstacle is an invitation to exponential growth, you become invulnerable to external fluctuations. You develop an inner peace that transcends comprehension, a profound calm that allows you to navigate the turbulent waters of life with the unwavering certainty that you will reach your destination. Your spiritual resilience is not a shield that protects you from all pain and suffering, but an armor that enables you to endure everything and emerge victorious, stronger, and wiser. It is living proof that your divine essence is unbreakable and that you are more powerful than any challenge. Start today to see your challenges in a new light, not as ends but as means to a greater purpose, not as falls, but as leaps towards your true and higher self. Most people spend their lives reacting to events, allowing external circumstances to dictate their emotional states, their decisions, and consequently, their outcomes. The mind, without a clear direction and a defined purpose, wanders incessantly, reliving past pains or anticipating the worst possible scenario in the future. This lack of conscious purpose in the use of imagination is, for Vincent Peale, one of the greatest barriers to full realization. You may feel adrift without a map in a vast ocean of overwhelming possibilities, or worse, without any prospect of a promising future. The pain here is not necessarily from a tangible scarcity in the present, but from an absence of vision, a blurred future, an inability to clearly see what you truly desire for yourself. This mental fog generates profound frustration and prevents creative energy from flowing freely, keeping you trapped in a cycle of inaction, dissatisfaction, and unfulfilled dreams. Vincent Peale, in his most revolutionary and often underestimated lessons, taught us that the mind is the greatest creative laboratory we possess, and creative visualization is its most powerful tool. It's not passive daydreaming, but rather the intentional, disciplined, and emotionally charged use of imagination to create, with rich sensory detail and unwavering faith, the reality you wish to manifest. Understanding who you truly are in God means recognizing that you are a co-creator, endowed with a divine capacity to shape your own reality through the power of thought and faith. Your mind is not merely a receiver of information and external stimuli. It is an active projector, and what it projects with conviction, emotion, and persistence tends to manifest in your life. Many people underestimate the power of visualization or confuse it with a mere mystical exercise, devoid of practical and scientific basis. They allow their minds to be taken over by images of fear, scarcity, anxiety, and failure, and without realizing it, they are constantly visualizing negatively, attracting to themselves exactly what they fear most. The crucial reframing is that your lack of clarity, your pessimistic view of the future, or your inability to dream big are not innate defects, but trainable and surmountable mental habits. Your pain, the feeling of being directionless or unable to progress, is a clear sign that your imagination is out of control, needing to be directed with purpose, intention, and faith. Creative visualization is the act of planting clear and vibrant seeds in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. It is the act of pre-living your desired reality, of feeling the emotions, of experiencing the details, of infusing each mental image with the potent energy of faith and gratitude. To practice creative visualization effectively, find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed by external distractions. Breathe deeply, relax your body, and calm your mind. Then, begin to mentally construct the scene of your ideal life with as much detail as possible. What do you see? Where are you living? Who are the people with you in this scenario? What are you doing? How do you feel about this reality? Include all your senses in the visualization. What you hear, what you smell, what you touch, the tastes you experience. Feel the joy, the gratitude, and the unwavering certainty that this reality already exists in potential, just waiting for its manifestation. Do this daily, with consistency, conviction, and emotion. Visualization doesn't replace conscious action, but it precedes it, inspires it, and aligns it with your highest goals. It aligns your subconscious mind with your conscious goals, removing resistance and opening paths that previously seemed invisible or impossible to tread. When you begin to paint your future with the vibrant ink of your mind, you activate a universal principle of attraction. Your inner energy shifts. Your decisions become more aligned with your purpose, and opportunities begin to appear in your life in ways you couldn't plan or predict. You become a powerful magnet for what you visualize and sincerely believe in. Understanding your truth in God means recognizing that you have the inherent power to co-create your own reality. Your mind is a divine gift, and creative visualization is the most effective way to use it to build a life of purpose, joy, abundance, and inner peace. Stop reacting to life and start actively creating it. Embrace your ability to dream with open eyes and unwavering faith in your heart, for that is how miracles are manifested in their fullness. Throughout life, we carry with us an invisible but immensely heavy baggage, an accumulation of regrets, past failures, mistakes made, and perhaps the cruelest of all, the inner voices that relentlessly accuse and condemn us. This emotional burden from the past is not just an unnecessary weight. It is an anchor that prevents us from fully moving forward in the present and embracing a future of limitless possibilities. Often, your greatest prison is not external, but internal. The persistent inability to forgive yourself, to release the shackles of guilt and relentless self-criticism. You may feel perpetually indebted to yourself, or unworthy of happiness, success, or love because of past stumbles and decisions. The pain here is that of self-condemnation, a corrosive feeling of unworthiness that sabotages your attempts at progress and keeps you trapped in a cycle of self-sabotage and low self-esteem. This inability to forgive yourself is one of the greatest and most subtle obstacles on the path to understanding who you truly are in God. Vincent Peale, in his most humanistic and moving lessons, taught that forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness, is not a sign of weakness, a permission for irresponsibility, but an act of profound strength, courage, and wisdom. It is the divine mechanism of liberation that allows us to genuinely detach ourselves from the past, learn from it, and crucially, pave the way for the new, for renewal. Understanding who you truly are in God means recognizing that, as a divine expression, you are inherently good, worthy of love, mercy, and forgiveness. Your past failings do not define your essence. They are not permanent marks on your soul. They are merely experiences, lessons learned, and opportunities for growth. God does not condemn you for your mistakes. He invites you, in His infinite grace, to rise, to learn, and to begin again, always with a sincere heart and renewed faith. To deny yourself forgiveness is ultimately to deny yourself the very grace and mercy that you seek from the divine. Many people confuse self-forgiveness with irresponsibility, denial of mistakes, or even selective amnesia. They mistakenly believe that to truly learn and avoid repeating the same errors, they need to carry the weight of guilt and remorse, which is a profound and destructive illusion. The crucial reframing here is that your guilt is not a sign of moral superiority or learning, but a powerful obstacle to your continuous growth and inner peace. The pain of incessant self-criticism is not an effective learning mechanism, but a self-destructive cycle that imprisons you in the past. To truly learn, grow, and evolve, you need to free yourself from the debilitating weight of the past. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean forgetting what happened or justifying harmful actions, but rather accepting that you did the best you could with what you knew and the emotional resources you had at the time. Recognizing the valuable lesson contained in the experience and consciously deciding to move forward with a new perspective, a wiser mind, and a light heart. It means understanding that your inherent value is not diminished by your human imperfections. To practice self-forgiveness in a profound and transformative way, begin by recognizing the areas, situations, or actions where you still feel guilty, ashamed, or resentful toward yourself. Allow yourself to feel these emotions, but don't drown in them or identify with them. Then, with your hand on your heart, and with deep intention, say to yourself, I forgive myself for mentioning the mistake, failure, or shortcoming. I recognize that I am a human being who is constantly learning, that I have learned from this experience, and I now choose to completely release myself from it and move forward with love, wisdom, and compassion for myself. Repeat this affirmation with conviction and genuine emotion. Remember, if the Creator of all existence in His infinite mercy and unconditional love forgives, why would you deny yourself this same fundamental grace? The past serves only as a reference, as a wise teacher, never as a perpetual prison. When you truly forgive yourself, an immense burden is mysteriously lifted from your shoulders. The vital energy that was previously trapped in regret, guilt, and self-criticism is powerfully released to be used in building a brighter present and a promising future, full of new possibilities. You begin to see yourself with eyes of compassion, unconditional love, and acceptance. profoundly strengthening your self-esteem, your confidence, and your ability to act. Understanding who you truly are in God means embracing your inherent capacity for renewal, for each day to be a new beginning, a new opportunity. Releasing the past through self-forgiveness is the most liberating and empowering act you can do for yourself. It is the most direct path to inner peace, to wholeness, and to the full manifestation of your true identity as a being of light, love, and eternal growth. We have reached the culmination of this journey, where all the pillars we have explored, unwavering faith, conscious thought, personal responsibility, profound gratitude, spiritual resilience, creative visualization, and self-forgiveness, come together to reveal your divine purpose and how to fully manifest it in the world. After deconstructing the illusion of your insignificance, rebuilding the castle of trust, reprogramming your inner dialogue, activating your faith in action, assuming total responsibility, cultivating gratitude, strengthening your unwavering resilience, and designing your future with the ink of your mind, the most profound question remains: how does all this translate into a life lived with authentic meaning, lasting impact, and a deep sense of fulfillment? Many of us, even after a significant path of self-discovery and growth, still struggle to find a greater sense of purpose, a compelling reason for our existence that transcends the everyday and the pursuit of superficial satisfactions. The absence of a clear purpose can leave a persistent void, a feeling that something essential and irremovable is missing, even when all other areas of life seem to be in order and under control. This is the ultimate pain, that of the soul that yearns for meaning, for a unique and unrepeatable contribution that only it can offer to the universe, a legacy. Vincent Peale, with his inspiring and profound vision of life in its fullness, shows us that our purpose is not something mysterious that we need to find externally, as if it were a lost object, but rather something that we need to reveal and activate from within, because it already resides in our essence. Understanding who you truly are in God means recognizing that you were created with a specific purpose, a unique and unparalleled combination of innate talents, burning passions, singular gifts, and life experiences that uniquely empower you to make a genuine and singular difference in the world. Your purpose is a natural and loving extension of your divine nature, an altruistic service you render to humanity and to the Creator Himself, manifesting good in its highest form. As a reflection of divinity in action, it is the perfect point of convergence between your greatest talent and the greatest need and longing of the world around you. The final and most persistent illusion is believing that your purpose is something grand, epic, and unattainable, or that you need a dramatic and sudden epiphany to discover it. The crucial reframing here is that your purpose is intrinsically linked to your deepest passion, to what you would do with joy and dedication even if you weren't paid for it, to what makes you feel most alive, most authentic, and most aligned with your essence. The pain of lacking purpose, of feeling adrift, is not a sign that you don't have a purpose, but that you haven't yet recognized it, accepted it, or consciously integrated it into your daily actions. Your soul yearns incessantly to express its truth, its inner light, and when you refuse to listen to this deep calling, you feel empty, fragmented, and directionless. The full manifestation of your true self in the world through your purpose is your greatest contribution and your most significant legacy. To authentically and impactfully manifest your divine purpose, begin by consciously paying attention to what truly inspires you, what deeply angers you and moves you to positive action, what makes you completely lose track of time, and what fills you with joy. What are your natural gifts? Those talents that come easily to you. Where do you feel most useful, most vibrant, most energized? Don't wait for absolute perfection or all the answers at once. Discovering and activating your purpose is an ongoing process, a journey of deep layers that gradually reveal themselves as you move forward with an open heart, a conscious mind, and unwavering faith. Start small, in your immediate circle of influence. Be the person who radiates positivity in your work environment, the one who listens with genuine compassion, the one who offers a sincere word of encouragement, the one who performs small acts of kindness. Be aware that every action, however simple and discreet it may seem, when done with pure intention and alignment with your divine nature, powerfully contributes to the manifestation of your greater purpose in the world. When you begin to live from your purpose, even gradually and in small daily doses, your life gains a new and profound meaning, a clear direction, an inexhaustible inner fire, and a constant source of vital energy. Deep joy, lasting inner peace, and fulfillment become your constant companions, because you are in sacred alignment with your purest essence. Understanding who you truly are in God is understanding that your existence on earth is a precious gift, a unique opportunity to be a faithful channel for the divine, to radiate light, love, and truth to the world in a way that only you can. Your life becomes not only a journey of self-fulfillment and personal achievement, but a continuous and powerful contribution to the greater good, to the evolution of collective consciousness. I conclude this journey with the unwavering certainty that the profound transformation you sought externally already resides, full, absolute, and powerful, within you, waiting only to be activated by conscious faith, constant positive thinking, and inspired and responsible action. Go and manifest your divine greatness, for the world awaits your light. If you've made it this far, it's because something inside you has already begun to change. This isn't just another video. It's part of an inner strengthening process that continues beyond these words. By following the channel, you're not just consuming content, you're choosing to train your mind, deepen your faith, and build a more solid inner foundation for your life. Subscribe and stay on this journey, because when thoughts align, faith strengthens and consciousness awakens, transformation ceases to be a promise and becomes a daily experience.